Hey guys, it's Coach Justin here. If you're earning six figures a year and you've been stuck there for a while, it feels like no matter how hard you work, you stay in the same place year after year. There's a reason for it, and it's probably not what you think. To get to your next income goal, whether it be 300,000 a year, 500,000 a year, or a million, it's not about waking up earlier, doing more hours, or pushing harder. Today, I'm going to show you exactly what's keeping you stuck at six figures and 5 simple steps that you can implement today to increase your income. If this is your first time watching, welcome. My name's Justin Grimer. I've been a mindset coach for 8 years now. I've worked with over 2,000 clients from all over the world, and I was business partners with Bob Proctor for 6 years. On this channel, I show you how to actually implement the principles of success to master your mindset and increase your income. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure you subscribe. In the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through the most powerful principle I've ever studied in personal development, that's self-image, and 5 easy steps that you can implement today to increase your income and actually create meaningful change. And step 5 is the most crucial, so make sure you stick around to the end. First off, to get unstuck, you have to become aware of why you're stuck. This is a book called Psycho-Cybernetics, and it was written by a gentleman named Maxwell Maltz. He was a plastic surgeon who operated literally tens of thousands of surgeries. And after tens of thousands of surgery, he became aware of the fact that we have 2 images. We have an image that we project physically to the outside world, and we have an image that we hold of ourselves in our subconscious mind. And ultimately, that image that we hold of ourselves in our subconscious mind controls every area of our life. It controls our income, it controls our relationships, it even controls our personal health. And ultimately is what I see every day. I speak to hundreds and hundreds of business owners who are trying to increase their income, and they're putting all their eggs in the basket of hard work, systems, and processes. And I'm not saying hard work, system, and processes aren't important. They're a piece to success, but they're not the whole thing. And when we stake our claims to success on hard work and hard work alone, ultimately is what we constantly do to ourselves is we go 1 step forward, 1 step back, 2 steps forward, 2 steps back. And it's only when we learn how to shift the image in our subconscious mind, I say to my clients all the time, is what we need to do is we need to discipline our mind and create winning behaviors. We've got to do the emotional work. We've got to shift that image that we hold of ourselves in our subconscious mind. And we've got to do the physical work. That's our behaviors. That's the outside world. See, we have 2 parts to our mind. We have our conscious mind and we have our subconscious mind. Your conscious mind is your thinking mind. It's your intellectual mind. Right now, this information is going from my conscious mind to your conscious mind. But we really need to understand that your conscious mind controls 2 to 4% of your results, perceptions, and behaviors. As what that means is you can read the books, right? You can learn the information and you can understand the information on an intellectual level, but unless you turn the ideas over to your subconscious mind, which is your emotional mind, which controls 96 to 98% of your results, perceptions, and behaviors, it will never reflect in your habitual thinking and your habitual behaviors. Now, let me give you an idea of the self-image. I want you to imagine that someone is 250 pounds and their ideal weight is 200 pounds. So this person is 50 pounds overweight. That person's physical body is a physical manifestation of the image that they're holding of themselves in their subconscious mind, of their self-image. We want to remember the outside is always a direct reflection of what's going on inside of us. This person wakes up one morning and they say to themselves, I'm sick and tired of being 50 pounds overweight. I'm going to go on a diet. Now, we want to remember changing the behaviors, going on a diet is an integral piece of shifting the paradigm. But unless we do the emotional work in the background, unless we shift the thermostat, the conditioning, the self-image, right, we're constantly going to be going 1 step forward and 1 step back. This person, ignorant of that principle, goes on a diet and they say to themselves, I'm not going to eat anything white, right? I'm going to cut out all junk food. All I'm going to do is eat lean meats and vegetables. First week, they blow it out of the water, right? Second week, even better. 3rd week, they're gathering so much momentum, right? And they jump on the scales and they've lost 5 pounds, 7 pounds. Now, jumping on the scale and losing that 5 pounds or 7 pounds, now the external image no longer is in harmony with the image that this person has in their subconscious mind. So what happens? Maybe they attract an injury. Maybe all of a sudden they start craving junk food, right? Maybe all of a sudden, or they just cannot be bothered going to the gym. Previously, for that 3 weeks, they were doing 10,000 steps a day. Now they feel like they're wearing a 1-ton vest on them. I'm sure that you can relate to this. I'm sure that you've put processes in place before, whether it be in your business, in your relationships, or in your personal health. You start executing the processes, you start seeing the results, and then once you start seeing the results, you abandon the very processes that helped you see the results. What do you think that is? That's the self-image. Let's go back to the example. This person's lost 5 pounds, 7 pounds, and then they abandon the very behaviors that lost them that 5 pounds or 7 pounds. And they start eating junk food. They say, well, one day's not going to kill me. I'm just going to miss the gym for a couple of days. Maybe I'll rest. And they get involved with their old behaviors, and then they gain the 5 pounds. They wake up in a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and they say to themselves, hold on a second. I told myself that this was going to be my year. I'm going to lose that weight. And they go back on the diet. They lose another 7 pounds, and they go through the same cycle over and over and over again. Then they get to the end of the year, right? They've lost 5 pounds, gained 5 pounds, lost 5 pounds, gained 5 pounds. And they get to the end of the year, and the scale says exactly the same. And they look back and they say to themselves, maybe it's genetics. I gave it, you know what, hand on heart, I gave it 100% effort. And the truth is, they did give it 100% effort. However, they gave it all the physical effort. They never took the time to shift the image that they hold of themselves in their subconscious mind. Now, if you're watching this and you're earning 6 figures a year and you're watching this to increase your income, you're probably thinking to yourself, well, how does this relate to me? Well, I want you to imagine that you have a salesperson who is earning, let's say, $120,000 a year. We'll use nice, clean numbers. They're earning $10,000 a month. Now, we want to understand it's the same principle. The outside is a direct reflection of what's going on inside of them. This person has an image of themselves in their subconscious mind, their self-worth, their self-esteem, their self-image of someone who is earning $10,000 a month. And then let's say they say, you know what, this year's going to be my year, right? I have infinite potential. I've been reading, I've been studying personal development for years. It's time that I finally implement it. And they start the year, they're cold calling, they're knocking on doors, they're posting on social media every single day, and they have a $25,000 month. Well, what happens to this person? This person abandons the very behaviors that got them that $25,000 a month. All of a sudden, they get busy. They stop making those calls. Maybe they have that internal dialogue that says, you just got lucky, or it's too good to be true, or it's not going to last. And they abandon the very behaviors that earned them that $25,000 a month. And they stop, and then they have a $5,000 a month. And they spend the whole year going up and back. Up and back, and at the end of the year, they earn there or thereabouts the $10,000 a month, $120,000 a year. Now, if that sounds like you, I'm going to give you a simple 5-step process that you can implement today and today moving forward to help you increase your income and completely change every area of your life. Step 1 is what I want you to do is I want you to take a pen and a paper and I want you to write out your present circumstances in the present tense the way they currently are. Let's say I'll make this up. Just for example, you say, one day I'm consistent and one day I'm inconsistent. I constantly break my word to myself. One day I'm operating at an absolute 10 and then I let the results control me and then I operate at a 3. Now, why is this step very important? As what you're doing when you write your present circumstances down, you're writing your paradigm down on the page for you. You're literally getting your habits out onto the page so you can see it in front of you. I'm going to go back to the same core principle. Your results are a direct reflection of what's going on inside of you. If you want to know where your self-image is conditioned around money, all you need to do is look at your income. If you want to know where your self-image is conditioned around weight, all you need to do is look at your physical body. If you want to know where your self-image is conditioned around relationships, all you need to do is look at how you treat others and how others treat you. Now, we want to remember, this is no reflection of your potential. It's just the reflection of your present conditioning. Step 1 is writing out the circumstances in as much detail as possible. You want to get your paradigm out on a page. Then step 2 is what you want to do is you want to take a highlighter and you want to highlight all the non-productive beliefs and behaviors. So again, we'll go back to the example. I am inconsistent. I sleep in. I break my word to myself. Step 3, take these highlighted non-productive beliefs and non-productive behaviors and write them out the polar opposite, the way you want to see it. So for example, if a non-productive behavior is you're constantly sleeping in, the polar opposite to that would be, I wake up at 5 a.m. every morning full of energy and full of life. The first thing that comes to my mind is today's going to be a great day. You're writing it out the way you want to see it. Step 4 is you want to take 3 or 4 of your new positive affirmations and you want to form them into a self-image statement, just like this, a paragraph long. Step 5 is implementation. Now is what you want to do is you want to take this self-image and you want to use it as your greatest accountability partner. I said something a little bit earlier in the training that was really, really important. I said you've got to discipline your mind and you've got to create winning behaviors. The discipline your mind part is the emotional work. It's affirmations, it's auto-suggestion, it's repeating your goal to yourself 500, 1,000, 2,000 times a day. And then the create winning behavior part is taking your self-image and taking your goal and using it as your greatest accountability partner. You want to remember, the way you think, the way you act, and the way you make decisions are the primary cause of your results. If you want to start creating new results, you have to start thinking differently, you have to start acting differently, and you have to start making decisions differently. The reason why most people don't do this is because it's very uncomfortable. You want to remember, your paradigms don't want to go anywhere. Your paradigms are conditioned to keep you comfortable. My paradigms are conditioned to keep me comfortable. However, the ideas only work when we work the ideas.